Hi there, welcome back to the ones following the series of tutorials on the Aston Martin. And to the ones who are just tuning in, please subscribe and like these videos to follow up on more automotive modeling content, especially modeling content in Alias, as you see here. We've been working on this car, we've been doing the body side since the last video. I took my time, well, a couple of minutes and just blocked in the surfaces. So if you take your curves that we had before around there, do a draft in the Y direction and cut them off with a plane, you'll get to this result. Also at the bottom, the center line that we've done a while ago, we've just extruded that in the Y direction. Cut those surfaces with it, cut that back, and that's about it. And today we will be starting and hopefully finishing this here, meaning the front end that we're so eagerly missing here. So let's bring in the front wireframe that we've done a while ago. There we go. And let's bring in the mesh. Let's start building. So we've got this curve and this one here. I'll do. I will skin them, basically. Do a nice skin surface between them and work from that. So we've got that in there. The next thing that we will be doing is we will look at these two. We'll look at that curve and start bridging everything in here. So let's turn on that there. And we can already see we need definitely some more crown on this here to the point where those grill lines are disappearing behind that surface. This is important because it will help us also generate that grill based on that surface, so we know we're following the same ground shape and all. So what I'll do, I'll change the shape here, the crown position, I'll push it up, and you see now it's working somewhat better. We'll give it even more crown. There we go. Nice looking surface. Now let's work this one to start going into that direction there. What I'd like to do is maybe extend this line back a little, thus pushing this one with it. So query this one, can take away some of that there. This one can come out. And this one can come back in. That. What I'm basically trying to do is approximate that shape better, these curves. And I want to come to a point here where this will extend nice and clean. So let's turn on the extend option here. And here as well. Surface, you see it's kicking out this way. So we might as well adjust and fine tune that a little bit. And what I'll do for that is push this that way and a little bit out. This in turn will bring that corner back in a little bit. Okay, there we go. That looks nice and smiley. There we go. There we go. Let's turn on these here. So it tends to look somewhat similar. We see these bands here tend to continue from there, which is a good thing. And let's see what this will do. We might have to adjust some of these corners here. We can see on the highlights of this surface that this point is going in a bit too much. So we might as well pull it out. This is straightening things up. And let's push this one out as well a little bit. There we go. That seems decent. Okay, so we have that. We've got this surface here, and let's see what the sections are doing. So it's important to have a similar shape. Of course, here at the top, the mesh is going a bit more inboard. That's something that we will have to make sure that happens also when we build the mesh. Here at the top, we're pretty decent. A little bit above there, so that point could actually lower itself a little bit. There we go. Let's delete the surface. Delete this one, this one. Let's untrim. Let's do the alignment again. Leave it at the connect option at the moment, as we will have to come back to look at that surface again later on. And let's make sure shape 1 there. And let's see. Let's tend to this starting point of that curve there. And let's turn on sections. There we go. This area could come down a little bit. There we go. Now that looks better. We might pull this a little bit back, relaxing that surface. Let's see this now. And let's change the inclination in the side view. Now this is relaxing it quite nicely there. I like the way these highlights are running there. That's better in my opinion. And we can pull this curve a little bit more forward to give it that feeling that it has in the sections there. Okay. There we go. So that's one. This is the other one. now I'm thinking of generating a surface from that point roughly. Well, that ends there because we'll have to adjust also the hood to elongate it a little bit, because where we are sitting at the moment here, that will be the shut line, so we'll have to do a bit of fine tuning there. So what I will want to do is take this curve, turn on the CVs on them. I will generate a line, and then make sure that in a projected view, it's uniting those endpoints. Push it going forward, exactly where these curves are sitting. And then I will project that line onto that surface. Some X projection. There we go. That's the one. Because I will want to go from that in that direction there. So that line, I'll turn it into degree 3. And then I'll extend the line up to this one. And take away these ones. Project that line in the front view into the surface there. Let's bring that point onto that intersection there. Okay, let's bring this line in as well. And let's play with it. There you go. So for the moment, let's trim this away. And we have that surface there. This can come out a little bit. There we go. That's sitting better. Let's put some sections on that. And I can already see that we're deviating from the model there. So what we'll do, we will be adjusting the surface ever so slightly. And what I want to do is start hitting those sections, at least in the top view. You see here at the bottom, we've got this little flick. That means that we might actually start that surface somewhere else. So let's do that. Okay. Let's go ahead and just adjust these things a little bit. What I'll do, I'll stretch this line. First, I take this control point so it sits in front of that CV. And then this one I can adjust easily. And the history of the surface will take care of the rest. And you see, we are getting closer and closer. We came a little bit too long. We will extend back. This one comes back as well. Put that point there. And let's do this one more time. There we go. Now we can see that these sections are getting very, very close to the other ones. So we might need to adjust this one ever so slightly. Okay. Now we see that we are deviating here. Let's pull that point in a little bit. That's okay. And this one should actually move in this direction. So it's pulling that section out there. See? Here we're getting close. That goes in a little bit. And it looks pretty similar when it comes to the sections there. We need a bit of crown in that area. But it's all in all looking pretty good. Okay, now from this one, what we will do, we will try to generate a surface, a sweep, going from that area in that direction. We will try to make it hit those sections there. And for that, what I will do, we'll take that surface, this curve, and this one here. And to keep it pretty simple, we'll project that surface this line, and then just a very, very, very basic skin will help us approximate them sections. Let's see this. So we are a little bit too round. And this endpoint is too high up. This section is sitting pretty well. Means that this curve needs to come up a little bit. So we might be looking at actually adjusting that plane there. And to adjust that plane, we will be rotating this one ever so slightly. So if this comes down, that goes ever so slightly up. There we go. And now this one will follow suit. to that point there. This one will follow that way. And this point needs to move out a little bit. And there we have it. And then it's just a case of bringing everything together and blending them nicely. So I will be blending this way between the two, bringing this across, and see how those graphics look on that surface. So for that, I will take this surface and this one, these lines, these lines here, and I will do a projection in an X. And here I'll leave a little bit of that surface there. And for that, we will be doing the simplest way to do that would be with a tubular offset. Set the radius of, let's say, 4 for the sake of argument. I'll make sure that it doesn't generate any surfaces, just current surface. And now what I want to achieve is also cutting that through the center of it. Let's see that curve in. Let's project that out. And let's keep this area, this, and this here. And off of this one, we will have to delete that area there. And let's hide away the mesh. And slowly it's starting to take shape. It's good. Now we can see that line there. We need to realign to this one here. So what I'll do, I'll just curvature line it here. There we go. And then once we're through with the main surfaces here, we will be closing that little hole as well. Normally that would be closed by this blend that we're going to get through here. Actually, we could do that straight away. Just untrim these. I'll get that curve back in there. From here, roughly to somewhere here. And then thinking something along the lines of from that point there, have a similar distance like that one down there. Let's move these away from the model. And now let's project them in the X direction onto the surfaces. There we go. Bottom model edge line, the top connect ends. I'll keep these two bits. And I'll take that surface there. We'll curve these ones as well. I'll keep this part of this surface. And now let's project onto that blend. Those two, and that one. And project onto this surface, also this line here. We keep this bit. Sorry. Instead of that line there, what I will do, I will generate a side view projection of that plane. Move it across there. Shorten it a little bit. Run us up to that point there. Now, let's untrim the surface. I'll undo that curved surface there. Side view projection of that plane there. Keep this bit, this lower bit, and then side view projection onto that. The same line there. Now we have a small hole there. We'll fill it up in a bit. So we'll keep that and that. Okay, so that's the rough graphic at the front. That there. For that we will need the mesh. And what I will be doing is I will take that curve there and I will copy paste it and move it up and in. And that will start serving me as the base for that surface there. I'll skin this because that's one of the easiest ways to build a surface. Pump it up, turn on the sections, and then fine tune. So, got this here, got that curve, that curve. Now we need the mesh. So, we see the sections, we see what they're doing. Here we're sitting pretty well. I haven't got a plan for that blend area there so far, but it will come as soon as I get to building it. I might end up doing a version where I'm halfway happy with it, and then I'll fine tune it. Let's keep on going. This is actually what I love about my job here. It's like making puzzles. So there we go. That's sitting pretty well there. That is odd around there. So let's take away some of that crown. That looks more like it. That means that we still need to add a bit more twist into these surfaces to get to that result that we're looking for. There we go. The endpoint needs to come out. That looks better. Now that endpoint needs to move out. Let's look at the sections closer. Right, too much twist there. Here we need some more. Here, also the same. Here it could come out as well. Here it can go in a little bit. Looks okay. So pretty well approximated. Once we have the hood extended there, those surfaces working, then we will have to cut away a part of this and then blend to it and bring this up to that edge there. So we've still got a bit of work ahead of us, but it's looking good. Come on, let's pull that back a little bit. This can change its shape a little bit. There we go. And this can move out. Let's keep that endpoint where it is. Let's put that there. You see that we've got a bit too much crown, which is not bad. You can take care of that. Pull this ever so slightly back. We're starting to sit better there. This can move out. This could do a bit of sliding that direction there. There we go. Get this in there. You see here we've got a negative break between the two, so that's not ideal. Let's pull this a little bit back to that point there. It would be nice if this doesn't happen here as it does now, which means that this needs to move ever so slightly out. This needs to move ever so slightly back in. And also we might need to deflate this locally or get everything onto one curve. There we go. So that's that. Those surfaces need to go onto the proper layer. Okay. This could do with a little bit of a twist. That also takes care of that break there. Now that we've got that, we can bring back the mesh. And let's generate here that little face. What I'll do, I'll take that. First of all, I'll generate a little line, which I'll run as a monorail along that curve. Pretty good. And off of that, I will take another curve, an X, and bring the point down a bit so the curves start to show. Move it also in a little bit, the Y direction, and then I'll generate this inner surface as a monorail off that edge there, running on that. Let's hide away the mesh. We can extend that curve. Let's extend this one as well. Okay. At this point, move it ever so slightly in, up. There we go. We've got that in there. Now let's take that curve there. Let's run this and this. Take off the explicit control option in the curve segments because we need it all the way through. And this one, not this one. That's that there. That's closing of the model in that area. And now here in the bottom area, it's going to be an interesting one. Like this one and this one. And I'll generate a skin. Actually, what I'll do, I'll untrim that surface fully. And then I'll generate myself a blend from that surface to this curve here. Curvature to position. Cool. Let's extend that curve there. Let's drop that projection onto it, onto this surface, and also the center line. And let's trim this back, because this will account for that little air intake. Now let's profile this curve on this one. That gives us that little surface going in, hitting that plane, with which we will be closing that area and also using to make a splitter off of it. From this back. Let's trim this. And trim this as well. We'll make an offset off of that. Let's say 20 for the sake of it. And this one also 20. Let's trim this back. This one. And then these two nice offsets. Let's hide them away. And let's close this gap here. What I'm doing here is basically making a backing surface there. For the grill, and this area here. I'll shape those in this blackout material, and you will see now why I'm doing this. So I want these surfaces colored in nicely, the proper shading. We'll see more and more of that Aston Martin popping up. Same with this surface here. There we go. Let's save this up. Same here. And then let's go ahead and build this bottom area here.